thankful. It was like, this is my friend, and it took a while for me to get that back up in my head.
But was it, I used two different ways of doing things.
Oh, it was like noticeable.
That's my phone. I can also.
My pocket. Okay, I have very similar. We're both Trekkies. Hey, look at that.
Thank you.
Maybe. Oh, okay. It's just a delay. So I don't know where this goes exactly, but.
So you can't have him. I am happy he's a baritone.
It's broadcasting. I don't know where exactly you want
I
this.
just don't know about the baritone section. He numbers. I don't know.
Should we show off the class?
Yes.
Do you want it to look at you?
They are the important part. I'm just also here. Hello. Looks like
It'll take a minute. Yeah.
So arranging. What is it? That's why we are here. What we see on the screen here is two people that are getting ready to play ukulele together. They're really, really excited. For those of you who are maybe not as familiar with this image, this is a remix of the popular game Street Fighter 2 in particular. And hopefully it might make sense by the end why this is here.
Dueling ukuleles.
Perhaps not. Yes, they really like playing a lot. So, alright, I have my notes here. Yoko Shimomura was born in 1967 in Japan, and as a small child she took piano lessons, and she had one of her loves was classical music, even from a young age. By the time she was in junior high, middle school age, she was going to orchestral performances and really involving herself in music in a different way. She started to grow aspirations and she knew that music was going to be a significant part of her life moving forward. So she ended up studying piano at an art college, and she had imagined that she would be on a traditional trajectory, focusing on piano in school and then becoming a teacher of music in whatever capacity. But then something came along that they also have ukuleles, that absolutely stole her heart. The first time that she heard the music from Super Ukulele Bros, it changed something inside of her. And she fell in love with this new art form. At the time, it wasn't music, and even games themselves were not necessarily seen as high art. They still aren't, right? But at least today there is more allowance for saying, oh, there is something here that is unique that we can pay attention to and study. But back then, not really. But something about hearing the Super Mario Bros. Theme stole her heart. And I bet you, at least for most of us in this room, when we think about Super Mario Bros., you can hear that melody, that iconic melody in your mind, right?
Could we play it? Because I've never heard it.
Maybe. I don't remember the rest of it, but I can hear the rest of it though, and I feel it. And then we have this iconic one. That absolutely changed her life, changed the trajectory. And in college, she told her professors that this is something she wanted to do. She was on the education track, and they said, that's more for composition students, and it's new, there's probably no money in it, it's not worth following. But there was an opening at a little place called Capcom, and she had applied for this position. She had to take an exam to show that she was competent in music composition, and she ended up working for the company, arranging different songs for them. It was interesting. It's not that, they had assigned specific games to most people. That's when you had worked your way up. So when she started, it was absolutely brutal for her in terms of the gigs that she would have, and trying to learn not only like new composition techniques. They're working with cutting edge technology that had not really been used before. She was excited by the whole soundtrack for Mario Bros. And saw potential. She saw an opportunity to add her background, her skills, and her desires from her classically trained background into the world of digital 16-bit channels. So this is a direct quote from her. "When I joined Capcom, I didn't know anything about composing, especially game and digital music. I was a total amateur and relied on courage and bluffing, saying and doing what I could, trying to convince them of my passion for the job." That's so wild to hear. This has become one of the most prolific video game composers of all time, saying that when they started out, they were like just trying to get through, bluffing and trying different things, being a go-getter in a lot of ways, and failing sometimes too, and learning how to be okay with that failure. Sometimes you'll lose the game, right? But luckily, if you're not at the arcade, if you are across the quarter, but if you're at home, you can retry, you can restart. Sometimes you have to restart from the beginning, and that's okay. We've all been there. That grind taught her how to write inside the technical limits of arcade hardware, and how to make music that looped well for video games, hit fast, and carried character. And then one day, after having worked at Capcom for a little bit, a project opened up called Street Fighter, and she didn't know much about it, but she wanted it because this was her opportunity to do the whole soundtrack for that video game. And okay, cool. I'm going to play that original track from her, and then some of these other videos on there are part of that conversation that was sparked from this little looping 16-bit track that was created by her. So let's start. Excitement in the music, like the kick and punch and destroy your opponents, digging deep for that courage inside, the valor, the glory, the defeat, the pain. I'm messing up here. But yeah, that was the original track for Ken, which is one of the iconic characters from
Street Fighter.
Well, I didn't want to show more anyways. I don't know.
Oh, there it is.
Hey.
Loose connection, maybe.
Yeah. Cool. And these are some different ways that that song has been interpreted. I'm not gonna play all of these ones, but this is just a way to think about, right? What Yoko Shimomura did was bring her specific skills, her background, and her passion into a new world and tried something different. And it was her flavor and her uniqueness that spawned generations of new musical artists growing up. And some of these are like in that musical lineage. In some ways, these are at least a little bit her musical children. So this, I don't know if you can tell, but this is a rock cover of that song, and it absolutely slaps. The artist's name is Family Jewels. It's a double entendre. I guess overlap. That's its flavor and style, right? So from this, little 16-bit track, this person then composed their own unique thing in which they are playing all of the different parts for it. The drums are, I'm pretty sure, are synthesized, but this video has, I believe, around 6 million views on YouTube. And so not only did, the ripple effect from Yoko Shimomura taking this chance on something wild directly affect that person then spawned more. So let's hear something a little different. That's weird.
That was cool though.
Choral, so a choral interpretation, yeah?
Yes.
Vocal drum parts.
Vocal, yeah.
So,
What part was the cat doing?
The cat?
There's a cat in the bottom.
Oh, really?
There's a black cat.
that's frustrating. I don't know why it keeps doing that. But yeah, so that video is in particular used to show that like the mode itself of how that song is brought into the world in a different way is something to play with, and that's what we are doing here in this ukulele orchestra. If you look at, you can look at percentage or whatever, a comparison from any angle pretty much, right? From looking at the whole world in particular, or even just here in the States, you can look at even people who are musicians. You can even look at people who specifically compose for different aspects, right? No matter how you slice it, it's like 0.00001% of people have ever made a full orchestral score, and that is what we are here doing. Something that has pretty much never been done before. And so not only can the mode, how we are translating into ukulele, be different, there's different stylings too. We heard that in the rock a little bit, right? But that's kind of expected, right? You can almost hear the guitar in the original in the way it's set up, right? But what if we add a little bit of flamenco style to it? What would that be like? You'll be able to do that by the end. Yeah, this person is absolutely fantastic. They make so many different arrangements from video game music in particular, but they also have they have a Mask of Zorro thing they have done Pirates of the Caribbean, I know for sure, and just fun stuff like that.
Who
And
is it?
this is Lucas Gaetano. That has a band word on there.
We'll get over it.
I'm not sure
That's
why.
okay. Sorry, I didn't.
But yeah, I will send this. I'll put that in the Slack. But yeah, that is unique. That's different. That's pretty cool. It's not something that one would come into listen to the original and expect to bring here, right? And it is their specific flavor and style that they bring, that sort of flamenco guitar to all of the arrangements that they do, but it doesn't make everything homogeneous. It's their little flair on things, right? If we compare it to I can do film and a little bit of art sometimes. If we compare it to Kubrick films, right? You know when you're watching a Kubrick film because all of the actors seem so flat in their affect almost, right? They are almost as machine-like as the machines around them. We definitely see that in 2001: Space Odyssey, but you can also see I'm not gonna go into it, but we could, right? He always puts his little flair on things, and that is just what happens when you express your particular thing coming from inside of you, at least hopefully, right? And one of the things I would super recommend, we will have a partial break too. So if you need to get to your small groups, you totally can. I might be yapping up here for a little bit longer, but one of the things I would hope is that if you find a piece that really clicks with you for future arrangements, or even not, just if there's something you want to make, just make it, and we'll put it in. I promise you. You are a part of an already happening conversation. Like when I did Sailor Moon, I absolutely looked at all of the different covers online, at least all the ones I could, right? Like, what does this sound like? How does this translate to piano? How does this translate to classical guitar? Or, of course, see if Lucas has a version put up, right? What does it sound like if there's like a full orchestral aspect to it, right? And then MuseScore is great because you can look on there too, right? How are people translating that piece into the actual software itself too, right? And that's where there's a lot of flavor that you can add yourself, both electronically, but also to bring out what is there for you as well. That's something I highly, highly encourage, is that if there is a song for any future thing that is calling to you, like go home tonight and just type your song name and cover into YouTube. Just listen to like 2 or 3 of the different adaptations on there, just to see, see what is going on there.
I spent about 2 weeks doing that.
Yes, that is.
And just listening and then waiting the next day because you feel different
Mm-hmm.
and it hits you differently.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kept making a list and then crossing them off and trying other
There you go.
things. And
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I appreciate that. It is a process, right? It is not something, that you necessarily just start and then you are producing a product, right? We are all going on a journey together of creation. But yeah, if you do have a small group to get to, thank you for coming. I appreciate that. Is anyone else leaving for something in particular?
Actually, I'm going to stay with the computer.
What's that?
I said I'm going to stay with the computer.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So from here, I'm going to power it down actually. Well, my computer was about to die anyway.
Oh.
Well, Derek, I have a question, because I chew on this idea sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know if I have an answer. But what's
Yeah,
up?
for the room. And when you're working with music I've heard people say, oh, they're such purists. They only want to be in their own head, with their own heart, with music. They don't want anyone to influence them. They call it pollution. And then there's the other side, like you just said, which I'm an omnivore. Like, I'll go out and just consume all of it and just get ideas. And I'm not ashamed of that. I just want to see what other artists have done. I don't know if anyone else has ideas around that, because I have no shame. I'll just go beg and borrow and copy anything if I like it.
Yeah, is there anything, thank you for that share. Is there anything to the notion of trying to keep what you are producing pure, right? Or trying to
I don't think it's
not
possible.
be influenced?
Well, you can try, but it's uninteresting to me because, they've already done it to perfection or else you wouldn't be doing it. And you'd just be translating to a lesser medium. So I'm in the omnivore school. I pick and choose, and I even, little bits like, oh, I like this ornamentation here that this one person did, so I'm going to lift that and try and incorporate it.
Or a harmony, or
Yeah.
a bridge, or
there is no pure, unless we go back to, bones with holes in them. And, those were some of the earlier instruments. So everything after that is, we're not reinventing the wheel. We're taking those boned instruments and then adding animal skins to hollow drums. And then we're, boom, 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 boom. So I think what I'm hearing you say is that make sure that you put yourself into your arrangement. Take what is best from you and what makes, you musically interesting or a neat person, and put that into your music. And so we're all going to be taking everybody's little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. But what's important is that we do it the way it fits us musically, and then we have to tweak it for the ensemble so the ensemble can play it.
so it's doable.
Right?
Yeah, there is that.
Right.
There's-
So I already did my first attempt at arranging a piece for the ensemble for fall. And now I'm gonna just leave it for a week. I'm going out of town, and then I'm gonna come back with fresh thoughts, but it keeps slipping in my brain, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's pegged by Steely Dan is what I picked.
Oh.
And I've got it written out, and I practiced it today on my part, and I went, no, the baritones aren't gonna be able to play that, and, you know, stuff like that. So-
Right, then you
So now
start
I've gotta
doing
go
all
back
that.
and, you know, Freddie the waterman come out and water some stuff down, but
So I have a
Yeah.
technical question then,
What's that?
a technical question, which you may or may not know. What is a good key for a ukulele orchestra to play in? When you have a small instrument with a somewhat limited range,
Mm-hmm.
what's a good key so you don't run out of frets up here, you're not all the way up here?
Mm-hmm.
no
out of
sharps
it?
or flats, or one sharp,
When your
two sharps at
intonation,
most.
you know, if you don't have an expensive instrument like a guitar and stuff, if you get up high, you gotta tune. So, you know, kind of how to maybe avoid that a little bit. Just wondered if there's certain keys that work better for.
What Gary says on his website is F, C, G, D, or A, which is basically one flat, no flats or sharps, and up to two sharps.
A was his favorite.
Yeah, since the lowest note on a regular ukulele is middle C, C or D is probably your best keys, because,
What's the low, I've asked Christy this and I don't remember, what's the low note on a low G?
well, G,
So it's still
G
low G.
below, G below middle C,
Okay,
and then on the baritone, it's D below,
It's an
D
Oh,
octave.
below
just-
middle C.
Yeah,
Well, it's
but it's
actually an
written
octave
above, it's
below,
written
yeah,
8 notes higher, but it sounds an octave lower than what's printed.
right.
Yeah,
So-
I think that brings up one of the really interesting things about arranging for ukulele orchestra in particular, right? Is that as much freedom as I hope we find in creating something, we are creating something not just for ourselves. We are creating something for us, for a collective. And this is a non-audition orchestra, right? We have people that have maybe never really played music ever in their life, wanting to, you know, they pick up the $20 ukulele and they're like, I want to join, right?
which
And
is the
one
really
thing,
cool thing about it.
yeah, I love that about Gary's philosophy, right? Is that this is for everyone. This is for all of us. Come play, come have fun. Let's learn and grow together. And as composers and arrangers, that's something to keep in mind too. We have a very limited range when we look at our instrument, right? And that, while sometimes frustrating, very frustrating, I would say, is also where I've found some of my most, it sounds narcissistic coming out of my mouth, but when it was kind of my own secret, it was nice. But right, some of my most creative, flares or little additions came from I need the orchestra to play this chord. We are in a bad key for ukulele, which was the C sharp, and you know, it came down to can I have the baritones play specific notes and the low G's play other notes, and maybe high G is doing something else, or can I play this chord here and this chord here, and actually when they stack together, if you rearrange them, that's actually the chord that I am trying to make and do one, right? There's so many different ways that the limitations do breed creativity and frustration. And so I would never recommend doing a song. Actually, that's not true. I would cautiously, very cautiously, no, it's true. I would not recommend doing something in C sharp. That is something that I did do for Into the Unknown, and Gary was like, "Don't do that." And I was like, well, I am, and it was hard to arrange it, and I think as an orchestra, you made it come to life so beautifully, and I really appreciated being able to hear what we were able to do. Right, these are, well, first of all, this was compiled by Jerome, right?
Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, this is accessible online, and I want to sort of ask us about that. When we are creating notes on a page, it's not the little symbols down there that's important, right? It is what is going to come out from those things, right? How do I want people to interpret these lines, to feel it, to sing through their ukuleles? And kind of on that note, I do want a practical gauge real quick. It's 6:45. We'll do 5 more minutes if that's okay.
Yeah.
So, with arrays of ukuleles, can you let me know who in here, and this is like not for judgment, I guess it is for judgment, but it's not a moral judgment, right? It's so that I can know like where we're at and maybe some things to touch on, right? I'm gonna go down Jerome's list for us, so he hopefully knows all of them. But yeah, just let me know with a little indication. Like, do we know what a staff is on a piece of musical thing, and do we know what ledger lines are?
Above and below the staff.
Yeah.
Or above and below, the little ones.
Yeah.
Mini one. The little guy's notes sit on, or below, above.
So when we run out of space on our
High
staff,
A,
we can denote higher or lower notes by adding those ledger lines.
Oh.
Just making sure there's a lot of people.
Oh, thank you. And honestly, some of these, they aren't too important necessarily. I guess kind of. Bar lines is what like separates something else I'm gonna ask us about. And double bar lines are just mostly indications that things are going to change, most likely. For ukulele, this is kind of important. Do we know what treble clef is? What is treble clef?
It's the
It is.
the
little
circle on the treble clef
Like
circles the
an
G. It's actually called the G clef.
Right.
Yeah. What does it do? What's its function?
It's to identify where the G is on the staff.
Yes, and because when we look at a staff, it's just a set of lines, right? Ultimately, there are many different clefs out there, and you can use those, and different instruments do use different ones to denote what notes are those ledger lines, or those staff lines actually are comprised of, right? And I guess, yeah, as arrangers we should know this. What's the thing called? If we are arranging music for Mike's part, what is that clef?
Bass.
Bass clef. What does it look like?
Stylized F.
It's the F clef. It looks like an ear with 2 dots.
Yes, this is our
2 dots surround the F.
bass clef, right?
Oh, okay, it goes the other way.
And,
It
yeah,
goes the other way.
The
What
opposite.
is different about these two clefs?
They're opposite directions, for one thing.
Which one are you pointing to?
Between our
Oh, the
standard
treble and
G.
treble and our bass clef.
One goes in this way and the other one goes the other way.
Yeah, what are
all the
they?
notes are
Lower
different.
notes.
The notes are different.
Higher notes.
Yeah,
Higher
the notes
notes and lower
themselves are
notes.
different based on the staff lines, right?
Yeah.
What do the little dots indicate on here? That is luckily our F, and it shows the little F, I think.
It surrounds the F line.
Right. The 2 dots bracket the F line.
Okay.
And so it is like slightly different. One really interesting way to think about it is if you put the 2 stabs sort of next to each other. One ledger line down on a treble clef is what?
Middle C.
One treble or one ledger line above a bass clef.
Middle
Is
C.
so if you picture them both together, you have your staff lines for one little ledger line, and then that's where you
Connect.
have your bass clef.
Connect,
Yes. So
yeah.
there is some logic to it sometimes. What is tabulature? Some tabs.
Cheating.
No, some of us need
Don't
to.
say
Where we
it.
put our fingers on the frets.
Yeah.
Are tabs comprised of staff lines?
No.
Mm-mm.
What's different about them?
They're the strings and
strings.
frets.
That's the
Yeah.
number
They
of the
represent
frets.
the frets and
Mhm.
strings.
So I have 4, when we're doing ukulele parts and the tab shows up, how many lines are there typically? There's 4 because they do directly translate to
4-string
what
standard.
we're doing. And if there's like little numbers on the notes, what do those represent?
The fret.
The
Where
fret.
you- the fret where you play that note.
Mhm.
And on music score, you pick 4-string standard.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's like, I don't know, 6 or 7 options, it's the top option on music score.
So,
Yeah.
Right.
4-string standard.
I believe we have one floating around, but I'll make sure we all have access to, like when you go into Google Docs, there's like the standard template, right?
4-string
Um,
Yeah.
We do have that, I believe, and I'll make sure we do all have access to like our standards template for the Ukulele Orchestra, which would include our hygies, at least hopefully. Maybe we don't need them.
No.
There's the
Low
Gs.
Gs. We definitely need low Gs always, unless it's not the Ukulele Orchestra. Baritones, we put up with them.
Hey.
And our bass, right? And so, yeah, there's a template for that already has our, how do I ask this without giving it away? There's like a little number on top of the score. It's one of the first things you should look at.
Oh, the time
Because-
signature?
Those are numbers.
Oh, wait a minute.
But
Tempo,
yes, what is
Tempo.
tempo?
where is it?
What is tempo?
It's how many beats happen in 60 seconds. So it's divided by 60 seconds.
And what's the best tempo?
It depends on the piece.
The one you play.
Sly answer, I agree.
Yeah.
But the real answer is 120.
No.
That's the default.
Yes,
In
that's
view
that's
score.
the default. That's that that typical and standard like marching pace, right? Da, 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 da. That's gonna be pretty close to your 120. But that tells you, like how fast your piece is going to be because you take the standard unit of a minute and you divide it by notes. But that's okay. You brought up time signature. What is time signature?
That's how
Well,
you-
it's often 4/4, often,
Yes.
in the pieces we've been doing as an orchestra. 4 beats per measure.
Next time I'm also gonna
And one note.
Quarter
note
notes.
gets one count.
That's the right
Yeah,
time, but
each
an hour slow.
Mhm.
It's on standard time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So the
How
top
many of
number
what
two.
kind of note per measure?
Yeah, and it gets weirdly complicated, but for ease sake, right? The 4 on top is what?
How many beats on each measure?
And the 4 on bottom?
What
What
gets the
kind
beat?
of note gets one count?
Oh, good.
And that, we won't dig into that too much, cause that is all rabbit hole
Eighth notes,
in and of
4
itself.
quarter notes,
Can of
2
worms,
half notes.
yeah.
Well, your time
Yeah.
signature will also give you what the song's supposed to feel like.
Yes, absolutely. Are we like
So-
slowing and easing into
Well,
our
3/4
notes?
sounds differently than 6/8, even though
Very, very much so.
Like a
technically
waltz.
the same thing, if you wanna get mathematical about it, but it sounds,
Mhm.
the music flows differently.
And we will talk
That's-
about that, right? Cause
So that's,
really,
you get that out of that.
you can denote any song in whatever like time signature, right? All of the pieces we're playing right now could be written in 3/4.
And that would be
And why are
cool.
they not written that way?
Cause it was below the new people's minds.
Because they don't feel that way.
Yeah, because
It's
the
a little too
music is not just this mathematical and thing to put into equations on here, right? It is supposed to represent what we are doing and how we are expressing. We don't have much more time. Yeah, I'll go over some more stuff next time and see where we're at. But thank you all, I appreciate it.
Thanks, Eric.
Thanks, Derek.
If you have anything in particular you want to look at together, throw it in the Slack. And next time we'll go over specific examples
Where
from.
is it on Slack? Do you remember the notation guide? It's pinned somewhere.
I got it from actually going, well, I had it on my computer already, but in Slack it is if you go to your name and your files, which is kind of panopticon-y, it does show that that's something that you posted.
Your name meaning Jerome.
No, I meant for anyone else to find, I don't remember where they,
I will pin it in the arranging with.
I think it's pinned under music theory.
Oh, yeah, I hope so.
Do we have chairs or anything?
But yeah, I will double make sure it's accessible.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pinned under music theory.
Thank you.
It's a file pinned under music theory.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. Thank you
Thanks,
all.
Derek.
And there's two copies, get the newer one.
Next time, yeah, we'll look at specific pieces that we played in the
It's your
past.
donation, sir. Thank you, Mr. Price.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Do you wanna keep these?
Uh,
Why don't you keep them?
okay, yeah.
Because you're the teacher.
This will be the whole, I'll put all my stuff in.
I got them for you to share. You might have new pupils.
Thank you.
That's for you.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Very, very
Giving up a lot of time.
So are you?
We're gonna make you earn it.
I will.
I will donate next week. I forgot to bring cash.
Do you think I should like start a new stream for the session in there?
Oh, I would think so.
Do I?
Somebody that wants to practice it
Thank you, Derek.
asynchronously may not wanna know
Where do you want me
the,
to put this?
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's very
that's all
cool.
I got today, so.
You don't have